I'm Cecilly.
I'm her mom.
I'm her daughter.
Welcome to This Made Up Life. So this is the second installment in our How to Care for Sweaters. And this was a question that someone asked us a little while ago. How do you clean a sweater? You know, so many sweaters have specific instructions. Usually they say hand wash.
Freaking care instructions, man. Woo!
What does that mean? So we have a couple of sweaters and we want to show you. The first one I want to show you is acrylic. So there are a lot of varieties of things that sweaters are made out of. Acrylic is a less expensive yarn. It is man-made.
Still very soft.
But this is a very soft sweater. I mean, some acrylic sweaters almost feel squeaky.
Yeah, and you're like, nah.
But this one's really cool. I actually picked it. I left the tag on it because I picked this up at a thrift store.
$4.
I know, and it's really cute.
That's
right?
awesome.
Yeah. So anyway, but now that I have this sweater, I want to wash it. And so first things first, check your care instructions because one, you want to find out what it's made of.
Yes.
And two, you want to make sure you're washing it correctly. Now there are some sweaters that you can put in the washer. They'll say machine wash, cold,
light colors,
delicate. But this one says hand wash. No bleach.
hang to dry.
I can't even imagine a scenario where you'd want to use bleach on a sweater.
What about like a white cable knit sweater? No?
The problem is the bleach is so caustic that a sweater,
It would just fall apart.
it would fall apart.
All right.
Great. Or turn really yellow. All right, do not iron. Again,
Plastic. Man-made.
it's not gonna enjoy the heat. So before I wash this, there was one thing I wanted to show you. Now I've got a couple of thread. This is, came from a thrift store, so threads that are coming off. Before I wash this sweater, this is part of your toolkit, your clothing care toolkit. Fray check. So I'm just gonna dab a little bit of fray check on the
Knots.
like the threads that are holding the button. So you're gonna just add some on here and then you've gotta let it dry. So, la la la. And I'm a little bit generous with it, especially on something that's underneath and you're not gonna see it. Now we've gotta let it dry. I'm also gonna do the top one just because while I'm at it, I know they're probably both a little bit
Loosey-goosey.
So we're gonna let that dry while we get our wash ready. So we're gonna hand wash in cold water.
We already filled it up.
Loud, cold water. So it's nice and cold, doesn't have to have ice in it. Here, we're just gonna move that around. And then you've got a couple of options as far as
Detergent.
You can go with like a Woolite, something that is for hand washing.
Oh yeah.
This is a cold water clean. It's going to be more effective in cold water. And the other one that Cecilly happened to have in her house is Draft for babies. And the reason is these are just a little more
Gentle, especially this one.
very gentle. It's going to be good to your clothes. It's going to be good to you. So we're going to go with Draft because this is my sweater and I like the way this smells.
I knew it. I like the way it smells too.
You knew it?
I knew it. It just
Okay, can you open that because my hand is wet? All right. So for a small, I bet we've only got maybe 2 gallons of water in there. Maybe not even that. We're just going to use maybe a tablespoon or 2. Just going to use a little bit. It doesn't take a ton.
Okay.
So we're going to put that in our water.
Agitate it.
And we're going to agitate it around so that it mixes in with the water. One thing that I think is frustrating to people about hand washing their clothes is that it takes time. You're not just throwing it in the washer. And so you think to yourself,
I only have so much time in a day. So I guess I'm never wearing this sweater again.
But the reality is sweaters are not something that you have to wash every single time you wear it either.
That's true.
You should spot clean when you have like either ketchup down the front, whatever. But, all right, so now we're gonna take our sweater and we're just gonna put it here in the water
in the bath.
All right, Cecily, are you ready? Because you're
For
on that
what?
side, you get to be the agitator. Okay, okay.
Agitation!
Have I taught you nothing?
Okay.
Okay, so you just kind of stir it around a little bit and then let it sit for a few minutes. And we're just gonna kind of let that happen. Now, we have another sweater. While this one is kind of soaking for a minute just to get some of the gush,
Gush?
because I'm kind of surprised how, I'm really glad I washed this sweater before I wore it.
Yeah, that's dirty.
Because the water's a little dirty. But, you know, it probably has never been washed, honestly. People are afraid to wash sweaters. And they should be, because what can happen, Cecily?
Your favorite sweater that fit you can turn into a 12-14 sweater for a girl.
Did this used to be larger?
It was my size.
All right, so what do you do? What do you
Besides cry for a while.
do when you have a sweater that you love? This typically happens with a sweater that's, I mean, you can even just tell from how the label is. I mean, you probably lost a good inch or two on that.
Yeah.
So let's find out what this is made out of. Dun, 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 dun.
Merino wool, 100%. That's why it shrunk.
Hand wash cold, lay flat to dry, or dry clean.
Oh, I should have dry cleaned.
No, okay, so
Dang it! I washed it on cold.
okay, but the gospel according to Paula for clothing,
Uh-huh.
avoid the dry cleaners at all costs.
Why? Your clothes come back clean and pressed.
They're beautiful, but the chemicals that they use to wash to dry clean them are really, really harmful to the fibers of your fabrics.
Oh, good to know.
And not only that, but they stink and they have that little bit of an oily thing. So
there's two.
other than there are a few things that you have to clean that way, but for the most part, if you are cautious and you learn about what you're doing, you can wash almost everything by hand. Thank you, Martha Stewart.
Aw, Martha.
All right, Cecily's got the sweater, 100% wool, and we're not just gonna wash it, but we're actually going to reblock it so that it'll fit her. So,
What does blocking mean?
okay,
If you were to define it.
we're gonna show you.
Oh, we'll just show you.
Blocking means literally laying it out so that it is the shape and size you want. And that's one of the beautiful things about 100% wool or
100% cotton.
natural fiber sweaters is that you can actually kind of reshape it. Now there are limitations, obviously, but this one, we are going to wash it and we can go ahead and put it in the same water.
It's turning gray. Just kidding. It's not. I'd be so sad. I'd be even more sad.
All right, we're just gonna kind of, we know it's clean already, so we're actually not trying to clean it as much as we're just gonna kind of get it wet. Now,
We need a towel?
let's get a towel. We're gonna have to rinse these out first. So we're gonna do the rinsing process. We're gonna do this process on high, because on fast.
Speed mode.
But what you're gonna do is you're going to drain the water, gently squeeze out the excess soapy water, and then you're gonna fill the tub again with clean water and rinse until the tub water comes pretty clean. So you might have to do it a couple times. All right, so now we've rinsed these and we've kind of just gently, kind of squeeze out. You don't want to wring them. I mean, it's tempting. It's so tempting. But we're going to take a towel.
This one has my name on it.
Ta-da! All right, we're going to lay it out. And we're going to start with, let's start with this one because it's a little more straightforward. Okay. Actually, you're going to squeeze that one out while I start with this one. That acrylic held a lot more water than I anticipated.
Some water.
All right, now before we get ready to really block this, which we're going to fold it in the towel like so, and then I roll the towel like this.
Ooh, that's neato. The
And-
sweater burrito.
Now I'm just gonna squeeze because this is just going to draw a lot of the water out without really, doing a wringing process. The problem with the wringing process is that while the fibers are wet, they can tear and it's gonna create a bigger problem for you in the long run with pilling and etc. Now, keep in mind, this is a wet, messy job.
Yeah, it's on.
This is not something you want to attempt after you're ready to go someplace. So we're really not dressed for this job. We should have worn like elevated pants.
Oops.
Okay, so this is still full of a lot of water, but that's also what this process is for. Now, I don't want to take my sweater wet like this and hang it, even though it says hang dry. If I hung my sweater while it was this heavy and wet with water, it would be ginormous. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to roll it up like the sweater burrito. And you want to get that side down. And you're just going to try and squeeze out a lot of this water. And honestly, for this sweater, we're going to do this twice. Once with it, and now we need a new towel. You didn't realize we were going to go through so many towels today, did you?
Well, these are the towels that I don't really use. See, gross. Stained.
We'll have to do a new video about how to get rid of stains in towels because I can do that.
Nice.
All right. So this time we're just going to, here, hand me, let's see, do we have one more towel?
Yes, we do.
Perfect. All right, this one we're just gonna
Sandwich on top.
put in the middle and we're gonna kind of wrap our sweater around it a little bit just to help us get more layers of,
It's like you've done this thousands of times.
well, sweaters are one of those things that you wanna, it's worth spending a little extra money on, but you've got to take care of it.
It's true.
Or you could get a sweater like this for $3.99 at your local thrift store and then take care of it like this. All right.
Both great options.
So for this sweater, so like I said, the acrylic is going to hold water a little more. The other thing that makes this hold water is that it's a very low gauge knit. Low gauge means that it's a thick,
Wide.
thick yarn. If it's a high gauge or a fine gauge, it means that it's really smooth, almost like a t-shirt. All right, so this one, we're gonna hang it dry, and we have a drying rack. And what I usually do when I'm working with a sweater is I'll take one of my towels, drape the towel over the back of the drying rack there, and then I'm gonna gently block this. Because so blocking is, we're going to shape the sweater basically. Excellent, now we're just gonna stick this guy on here.
Where'd you get this drying rack? I need one.
IKEA, I love the drying rack from IKEA.
Nice.
I use it for dyeing, I use it for
Living.
I use it for all kinds of stuff. All right, so now I'm just gonna, I always pull just slightly on my, on the arm
Armholes.
seams. Just not enough to pull it out, but I just wanna make sure that it hasn't shrunk a little bit right there. Cause I mean, have you all done that? Where you put your sweater on and the armholes are really tight? All right, so that guy's gonna dry. He'll take a while to dry, probably a day or more, depending if you're in a really dry area. All right, so we've shown you how to hand wash a sweater in cold and lay it out flat to dry.
Yes.
Check our site next week
Yep.
because we're going to show the video of how to block the sweater to reshape it.
Yeah. A shrunken sweater. We'll fix it.
All right, be sure to post your comments and questions below because we would totally love to answer them if we can, or if we can't, we'll find the answer for you. So
We're very good at Googling.
yeah, we're really good Googlers.
Good Googlers. That's us. But remember, if you like the video, like it, follow us,
Share.
subscribe,
All the things.
do all of it. Just do all of it. And
Thanks for watching.
see ya.